if you are fed up of being caught up in this dieting cycle to lose the weight only to put it all back on again, keep watching, because in this video I'm going to give you 4 tips on how you can break this dieting cycle and still lose weight. Hi, I'm Vanessa McLennan, a clinical hypnotherapist, and I help people to lose the weight by working on the emotional and psychological side of eating. So before we begin though, please click on the subscribe button, click on the bell to be notified of my next videos. Yo-yo dieting is where you typically fall into a cycle of going to lose the weight. You lose the weight, but then you might have been restricting yourself so much that you feel miserable and deprived, and you suddenly want and crave all the food. So you go, oh, to hell with it, I'm going to eat what I want. And you do, you eat all the foods that you want and that you like and enjoy. And then, of course, you put on the weight. So you feel miserable, you feel deflated, and you're like, right, I'm going to go on a diet again. Go on the diet again, same thing happens. So it's a vicious cycle that you just get caught up in again and again. And then that leads you to feeling, perhaps really deflated yourself, depressed in yourself, doubting your own abilities that you can actually do this. And it's like, how do I break this cycle? Well, in an ideal world, you'd find healthy habits, healthy ways of living, and a healthy relationship with yourself and food to be able to break this cycle, but still be able to lose the weight. Sometimes it sounds too good to be true. It's totally not. So here are some tips on how you can break that cycle. Stop dieting. So this can be really counterintuitive, because you're like, well, I want to lose the weight, right? But how can I lose the weight unless I stop dieting? Well, it's like having, a house with walls and having cracks all over it, and all we do is fill in or paper over these cracks, right? And then we just get frustrated because more cracks keep appearing. Well, going on a diet is a bit like that, in that we just keep papering over the cracks, but what it stops us from doing is stopping us noticing where the cracks are and the patterns that are forming, to be able to go, what is causing these cracks? So in other words, not looking at the foundations. So something that really helps is writing and keeping a diary, a food diary. So you write down what you eat, when you eat it, but also the emotions that are causing you to eat it. So it's not just hunger, it's actually what's driving me to eat. Am I bored? Am I lonely? Am I frustrated, sad? What is it for me? And once you start to get, quite a few days down, weeks down, then you're able to step back and start noticing where the cracks are, so you're able to study your patterns. Change gradually. I see so many people come to me and they cut everything out at once. Everything that's deemed bad, like high carbs, high fat, sugar, beige food, and it just becomes so restrictive and you feel deprived. And of course then when you feel deprived, the first thing you want to do is go, I want to eat all the foods that I want, and you binge out and you go, yum, and of course then you feel really, really bad. So the whole thing starts again because you want to lose the weight, so you're just on that downward cycle. So stop and just change one thing at a time. So go back to your food diary, look at the food patterns that you've written down or that you've noticed, and swap one of those patterns at a time. So make a list as to what you want to prioritize. Look at the first thing and do that, and then change it for 3 weeks before it becomes sustainable. When you can notice that it's sustainable, you're happy with this new habit, then go on to changing the next habit. But just get one thing at a time. Develop a curious mind. So this leads on from the first point, because if we are able to develop that curiosity within ourselves, we're able to study ourselves and be a lot more empathetic and understanding. So in other words, instead of being a crack, when we're in it, we are, let's say, the crack, and then we're going, oh no, I'm cracking again, oh no, I'm getting wider, oh my god, I'm getting longer, I'm rubbish, and then we start berating ourselves because we're this crack. But we're too busy being in it to be able to notice what's causing it. So when we're able to step back and develop this curiosity, we're able to go, oh, that's interesting, that crack is getting longer, that crack's getting wider, why is that? And then we start to become, just a lot more empathetic and warm towards ourselves. We start developing that better relationship with ourselves, because we're like, oh, why? And then wondering how we can help ourselves rather than judging or condemning ourselves. When we develop that warmer relationship with ourselves, we like ourselves better, and then we want to help ourselves, and so we're more likely to then start eating healthier and better and supporting ourselves in all the way that we can towards our weight loss goals in a healthy, sustainable way. get support, your weight loss journey is going to be full of, trials, tribulations, the ups, the downs, and it's just going to be like a roller coaster. It is not some nice linear going forwards. Oh, this is easy sailing. Oh, I so wish it was. So when we're on this journey, support is really vital to keep us going. Join like weight loss groups, but people who are supportive of you and who are on the same journey as you. And also, it helps to call in a therapist or an expert, somebody who can coach you along. So imagine looking at those cracks in the wall and you're forever again being the crack, going, oh no, I'm rubbish, I'm cracking, I'm getting bigger and wider. You're forever going to keep cracking unless you start looking at those foundations. But if you don't know what you're looking at, then that's where you call in the expert. And the expert then is able to look at the foundations because they have seen hundreds of thousands of others, like houses like it, to be able to go, this is your problem and this is what you need to do to solve it, and I'll work with you to solve it. And then you're on the road to success. So get somebody who can see what's happening for you from a different perspective, support you on your journey, and you're much more likely to reach it.